What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. I know, sorry, it's been a while since I read a chapter. I've been kind of busy with my two kids and just having had no free time to record anything. We are back at it. Kingdom 8. Well, technically, we last left off at 880. And we got 81, 82, 83, 84. So, sheesh, it's been a month now. So we're gonna go through all of them at once. We begin this chapter. Okay, hold on. The, we do a little refresher. The Haishin unit and well, technically Kuokai is part of the Haishin unit. The Haishin unit besiege the Zhao capital, Catan. Once they start climbing the wall, Riboku and his army came out from behind them and surrounded them. The High Shin realized that they won't be able to take the castle. They turn around and start fighting the Riboku army. Now, mind you, the Riboku army has surrounded the High Shin unit. They got no escape. The High Shin unit starts stacking bodies, dead Conrad. Start stacking the bodies to build a wall to prevent the Zhao or the Riboku army to overtake them. Kuokai, Kaioten, yeah, Kaioten, she was in shock, and so she couldn't command nothing. Kuokai and Kuorei, they rushed through, but for them to get in towards where the High Shin unit are to where Shin is, they end up sacrificing all the soldiers that came with them. Muten realized what's going on, and he rushes to the High Shin unit. He's further back towards the second defense line. But once he realized that Riboku is gonna attack the High Shin unit, he rushes with his a detached group, and they rushes to the High Shin unit. They get there and they see that Shin and all his men are surrounded by Riboku's army. They raise their flag and they started rushing in to break the High Shin unit out. Technically, this is where we left off. This is 880. Now we're gonna go through 81, 82, 83, 84. We begin this chapter with one of Kaioten's soldier scaling the wall to see an overview of what's going on. He sees that Muten and his army or his detached group are into trying to break the Riboku army so that Shin and his men could break out. They're trying to rescue Shin. All right. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now the Gugaku are broken into three. Well, they're broken into a couple units. Aizen, he's rushing in, and the Zhao soldiers they're trying to prevent because the Gukaku army they're hitting Riboku's army from the back, and Shen and then are hitting them from the front. Hold the pyramid formation. Find a way to push through. Good boy, Lucian. Good burp. Sorry, I got my son with me. Good burp. Good burp. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Aw, who's a good boy? Good burp. Not right. They started breaking through. Our vanguard is gone, and Kuryu, Kuryu is the grandson of the grandfather who was protecting Muten. He goes, my grandfather may have been soft, but my father, yeah, he was a warrior to the end. He rampaged in the Mobu's army's first army. It may led him to his early death, but I'm going to channel him on this battlefield. He start cutting the Riboku army. Everyone, give it your all and push forward behind me. And then one of the Gukaku soldier goes, "You fool! You think you will hide behind some greenhorn in his first war? Raise the flag high. Let the High Shin unit know we're here. Draw them our way." So he's rushing in, and we switches to the High Shin soldier Denyu. The Gukaku flag is coming this way. Gather everyone here as best as you can. We tying up and then pushing out. Yes, sir. We switches to Aizen. Adjust our course a bit to the right. We're aiming for the spot where they're showing the most resistance. They're likely part of the main force. Yes, sir. To the right. Raise the flag. Yes, sir. And now the Haitian soldiers, they see all these little Gukaku, they see all these little Gukaku flags, and they realize what's going on. Well, they already realize that what's going on, but they realize that the Gukaku are getting closer. Sugen, gather up all the infantrymen and charge where the Gukaku are. Understood. We're getting out of here. Bring everyone who's been scattered the best you can. And then we switch it back to Muten and his side. Muten, Sama, the flag is being raised everywhere. I look. We're getting closer and closer to the High Shin unit. And then Muten's like, excellent. Our advance is a lot tougher than the second unit. Obviously, we're going straight for General Rishin. Of course, the enemy is more concentrated here. Maybe we should have left this to Aizen Sama. And then Muten goes, it's fine. We have Suku here with us. And then Suku goes, no, I'm at my limit too. And then Muten goes, forget protecting me. I'm covered in wounds anyway. Cut open an escape path ahead of us. Then Aizen and Rikusen can withdraw. Withdraw, huh? And Suku go, but if it's an order from Muten-sama, all right, I'm going for it. So please make sure to follow close behind. And then he started turning into the hawk. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. He ravaged the Zhao soldiers. Both sides, they see this and they're in shock. And Muten goes, I knew it. Because Muten knew that boy is a beast. Follow Suku. Raise the flag. And then we switches to Shinsai. Captain, the Gakuka flag is right there. And it seems to be getting closer. Shin turns around. Shin goes, Muten, there's a spot where the corpse wall collapsed. We'll escape from there. It's where we came in from. And this is what Cool Ray said. And then one of the soldier goes, Captain, let's go. If we also charge from here, then maybe we can. And then Shin finally he goes, all right, gather everyone nearby that you can. This is our only chance to escape. Anyone who got separated, get them all. Every additional man counts right now. Yes, sir. And then Sugen comes, oh, Suan, he comes riding in. And he goes, Shin Dono, are you all right? And then everybody turns around and goes, Lieutenant Suswan. And then this is Shin. Suswan, glad to see you safe. Lieutenant, you made it all the way here. And then he goes, I gave it my everything to be Shin Dono's shield. Somehow I managed. And we also see Ryu. Ryu is the cook. Ryu is Ryu is the guy who always helped Kyoten cook. And then he goes, I also managed to bring Ryu and his infantryman. The Gakuka came to rescue us. Gather up everyone you can. We're making one big charge to get out of here. Yeah, they're sacrificing their lives for us. Then we must hurry. It's unfortunate, but the left wing is already too separated. And then Shin turns and Shin goes, and what about the right? And then one of the soldiers goes, I sense that the right has been pushing this way the whole time, but now, as soon as he says that, you see bodies just flying. 1,000 man Commander Ryusen. And then Ryusen shows up. What was their name? The Jamun tribe. The little captain is still alive. So it's 1,000 man commander Ryusen and the Jamun tribe. The Jamun tribe are the new recruit that joined the Haishin soldiers. And then Cool Ray goes, "Hey, where is Cool? Wasn't he over here?" And then one of the soldiers goes, "No, there's nobody from the right wings, and everyone beyond that was separated from us entirely. They're on their own." And then Suan goes, "Cool's unit was back beyond the left wing. Like I said before, we found no other allies on our way here." Damn it. I can see the Kukaku flag all around now. Ray, all we can do now is pray that Cool make it out from somewhere else. And then Ray go, "I get it." Now Shin turns and Shin goes, "All right, let's go, Ten." And the cow Ten, she still have her head bowed down and she's still desperate. She's still quiet. And then she goes, "Yeah, sorry. Sorry. I'm the strategist, but I couldn't do anything." And then Shin turns to her. Shin goes, "It's fine right now. Bronze beats brain. We're busting out now, so stick close." And then from there, they change into wedge formation. They start charging. Shen's leading. He's cutting soldiers left and right. Uh, Kuokai and Kuorei, they're kind of hurt, but Kuokai is still fighting. And then Shen goes, "Kuokai, Kuorei, it's fine. Just stick behind me." Because Shen's the one doing all the damage. Shen don't know. Our carry are stuck. And then Shen goes, "I'll cut a path forward. Just make sure to stick to me." Yeah, and then you see Shen just cutting all these Yao soldiers through. Now on the other side where the Kukaku are, you see Kuyu, he's cutting all the soldiers from the other side. And then Muten goes, "Are you alright, Soku?" And then he goes, "Sorry, I'm long past my limit." So then he started slowing down. Muten goes, "In that case, allow me to take over." And then all the Kugaku soldiers they look at Muten, and then Muten goes, "Stronger than you thought, aren't I?" And then Suku goes, "I already knew that." But if Aizen Sama ever found out about this, he'll definitely tear me a new one. So Suku is, let's see, he is one of the soldier Aizen Sama told to protect Muten. That's why he said that. Now we switches back and we see scene by scene of Shen and Muten cutting the Zhao shoulders left and right, and both of them are getting closer to each other. Finally, after after a whole bunch of killing, they meet face to face. Shen go Muten, and Muten go Shin. All the soldiers that sees this, they're kind of like in awe. And then the Haishin soldiers, they're like Kukaku. And then the Hakugaku soldiers, they're like Haishin unit. And then both Shin and Muten, they stare at each other. And then Muten goes, "I'm glad you're safe." But before he could finish, Shin goes, "I'm sorry, Muten. You sacrificed your own man to come save me and mine." But before Shin could also finish, Muten goes, "For now, I'm just glad we linked up, Shin. But it's not like we saved you just yet." And then, the last scene of the page, we seen the back of Riboku. and he's staring into the battlefield. So he's about to do something. This is the end of 881. No, right. I'm sorry about my son. He's tired. I will be right out with 882. All right.